गुरवे नमः। ओम विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी इति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाण विचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा. So, Balaram Shakti Pro's health is still not good, so we'll have today our morning Prabhupada Purport reading session. So here, important thing I want to discuss is about Vaishnava Aparadha, because this theme is continuing. So we'll just try to add some more points to this, because here King Rahugana says, uh, whatever you have spoken appears to be contradictory. O best of the distressed, I have committed a great offense by insulting you. I was puffed up with false prestige due to possessing the body of a king. For this, I have certainly become an offender. Therefore, I pray that you kindly glance at me with your causeless mercy. If you do so, I can be relieved from the sinful activities brought about by insulting you. So this is about the Vaishnava. Next shloka is also same thing. My dear Lord, you are the friend of the Supreme Lord, who is friend of all living entities. You are therefore equal to anyone, and you are free from the bodily conception. Although I have committed an offense by insulting you, I know that there is no loss or gain for you due to my insult. You are fixed in your determination, but I have committed an offense. Because of this, even though I may be as strong as Lord Shiva, I shall be vanquished without delay due to my offense at your lotus feet. So this is actually the important point. So we'll try to add some more things to the discussion. So if you remember previously, we discussed on this theme, how about Vaishnava, the how powerful is bhakti. So that was the discussion before Vaishnava. This we had an elaborate notes on how powerful is bhakti, and there are different statements telling about bhakti. And the bhakti is not dependent on faith also. Only Shuddha bhakti you need faith, because you need to concentrate. Otherwise, anything that is pleasing Lord will help. And we have also discussed that Lord is a person, and bhakti means you have to please that person, anukulyena. So that is the most important thing we discussed. So Krishna gives so much value to bhakti and bhaktas. And if you want to develop a relationship with him, we should not do anything which is displeasing him. So that was the first thing. So he likes bhakti, he has put so much into it. And because anybody who is pleasing him, even though he may be a non-devotee also, like Putana, Krishna takes it seriously. And if we are displeasing, we are offending somebody who is pleasing Krishna, then will be problem. So we'll just discuss few more points on this Vaishnava. Uh, just give me a second. I'll bring the notes for you. So scriptures, they promise about bhakti as a supreme method of spiritual realization. So this is Purna Mrita Naptibhi. So and Just a minute, there is some problem in the notes. So scriptures describe bhakti as a practice, uh, enables comprehension of the self and God, dispels the darkness of offense and sins from the heart, can lead to revelation even though a faint shadow of it is practiced. So this is how the scriptures describe bhakti. So now the observable reality is a gap between promise and experience. So despite the scriptural promise, devotees often observe the opposite in practice. What is that? The taste diminishing rather than increasing every day, loss of initial enthusiasm and interest over a time, and there is these all things return to a lower engagement in material world and boredom. So these are things we are uh, easily observable realities: boredom, spiritual stagnation, or even active regressions. So now why this is happening? So that is our discussion. So spiritual journey is compared to Arjuna's description of feeling like a torn cloud which is just separated from the main. So having left on the shore, that means material world also is not able to enjoy and not at arrived at the spiritual perfection also. So one is carried away by the wind. That's what Arjuna says. Now, what is required is a guide who can tell us. So assure that the travel that there is laws governing spiritual experience. So this is the most important thing. We need to know why this is happening, and for that we need to hear from our acharyas. So they will assure that the travel there are laws of governing spiritual experience and identify obstacles and their remedies and provide uh, patience and directions when difficulties arise on the path of bhakti. So this is actually what the acharyas and guru is trying to teach us. Now, what is the result of bhakti? The result of bhakti is that we should get some taste. So that is what Prabhupada is telling. And if I am doing bhakti means I should ultimately experience what? When Srila Prabhupada was, what happens for chanting the holy name? Answer, we will chant more. So this is the logic of bhakti. Bhakti generates increasing taste for itself. Its self-perpetuating taste is a proof of its authenticity. Unlike material activities pursued for an external goal, bhakti is its own highest reward. That means when you do bhakti, what we get? We get more bhakti. That means more opportunity itself. If this activity is the highest, then what we should do lead to nothing other than uh, us doing more and of what we are doing. That means of all the thing, the highest thing is bhakti. By doing bhakti, what we get, we should get the highest thing only. But you are already doing a highest thing. So now, if you are doing bhakti, what we should get? More bhakti. That's all. So that is the absolute nature of bhakti. We should understand this very clearly. So the absolute nature of bhakti is described as the highest practice because it is not a means to something else. It is the goal. It is what a liberated soul practices eternally in spiritual world. Spiritual world, what they are doing bhakti, and now what we are doing bhakti. Any practice pursued for an ulterior motive, mystic power, money, honor, is not pure bhakti. That we understand. Now, what is the common misdirection of spiritual practice is this one. People go for mystic powers, financial gain, position, name, fame. Now, we'll try to come to the main part. What is the obstacle? So, the obstacle of bhakti, why we are not getting taste is aparadha. So, now linguistic and what is linguistically, what is aparadha means? So, that we will try to just understand this by word what is aparad. So aparad is often translated in offense, but it is inadequate. Offense in English. So this is the you can write meaning. So aparad derived from apa opposite. Radha means service or worship. Apagata radha. It denotes something fundamentally opposite to the spirit of worship itself. That means one side I want serve and aparad is exactly opposite. It is more serious than insult, more serious than sin. This is the important thing. It is more serious than sin also. Insult is more serious, the offenses are, aparad is more serious than uh, sins. So now an action that causes pain or suffering to other living beings or to Krishna himself. So this is especially for devotees, any living entities. Even Jiva Himsa also not favorable for us. Now we'll see how it is. Uh, can God and saints be offended? So that is the important point here. Because when Ravagana is telling, Arey, even if I say something, nothing will happen to you. That's what he is telling in this last verse. If you see the translation, it's is very clear. He says that Ravagana said that was very sorry, my dear Lord, you are friend of the Supreme Lord and friend of all living entities, therefore equal to anyone. You are free from bodily conception. Although I have committed an offense by insulting you, I know that there is no loss or gain for you due to my insult. So he's very clear about this, that you will not get affected even if I offended you, because you are a devotee. You are fixed in your determination, but I have committed an offense. Because of this, even though I may be strong as Lord Shiva, I have to be vanquished without delay due to the offense at your feet. So this is his uh, conclusion. So now whether devotees get affected. So he's telling, although I have committed offense by insulting you, I know that there is no loss or gain for you due to my insult. You are fixed in your determination. So because of this, so this is a very important section of Vaishnava Prath from Bhagavatam. So we'll try to analyze it properly to understand more clearly. So here, Prabhupada writing, Maharaj Ranugaru very intelligent and conscious of the inauspicious effects arising from insulting a Vaishnava. He was therefore very anxious to be excused. So now our discussion is whether the can God and saintly persons be affected. So a common misconception rooted in impersonalism holds that God and saintly persons cannot be hurt. This is incorrect. The development of consciousness equals to development of sensitivity. Vaishnavas, as they become more sensitive, become more saintly, they become more sensitive, not less. So what Ravagana said, you will not get affected, is not correct there. So more sensitive, more affect. And God is described as the extremely sensitive person. So he gets affected. Now, scriptural examples we should say, because this is Ravagana's statement. But we see the scriptural examples from Chaitanya Charitamrita. We'll see. Rupa Goswami laughed at a lame Brahmana who while observing in his divine pastimes, Leelas. The Brahmana was offended. Rupa Goswami had to seek him out apologies. The offense was real even without intent. So it was so subtle, the Brahmana felt offended, that's all. He was so sensitive, or he just laughed at me. Immediately Rupa Goswami laughed. So Lord Chaitanya refused to choose Sota Haridas for an entire year after a small misconduct, because Lord Chaitanya was very sensitive. Lord Chaitanya told Mukunda not to come near because he heard from impersonist. He heard Yoga Vasistha. Even hearing just accidentally also Lord Chaitanya did not accept. And Nityanand Prabhu forgave Jaga and Madai, but did not forgive Ramchandra Khan's insults. So this is how the sensitivity is there for the Lord also. So association with devotees places a much greater obligation to us. So a devotee begins to notice things he had not noticed before. So that's the actually the power of bhakti is very high. Even a single accidental contact with bhakti carries enormous power. So we will again come to this point of the potency of bhakti because it is directly connected to devotees. Why Lord is so particular about devotees? Because if you know how great they are, we will be very careful in dealing with them. Even a single accidental contact with bhakti carries enormous powers. On hearing the holy name, one utters, one chants, one uh, once chanted attend once chance attendance at a lecture on Bhagavatam, like we see about the thief who uh, who was actually told by his father, never attend Bhagavatam class, never associate with devotees. And he was very sincerely following his whole life. He was never, even accidentally also, he was make sure that he don't hear any class Bhagavatam from devotees. So one time what happened, he was escaping from the police or whatever, the soldiers of the king. And then there was Bhagavad Katha going on. So he just went and sat in a disguise and he sat in the class to escape from the soldiers. And because they were looking around and then they saw this Katha going on, they left. But because he sat for a few minutes, he heard and he hears that demigods don't touch their feet to the ground when they come to the earth. They always are above the ground only. It's a very dirty place. They don't touch earth. Only that one he heard, and then he remembered his father's instruction. He left and he ran away. He said, I should not hear because my father warned me strictly. And somehow they caught few thieves, and he was also caught. But they were interrogating, and none of them were guilty, so they were not admitting. And he was also very adamant. He was also feeling innocent. And then they know that these all worshippers of these dacoits and all, they are worshippers of Durga. And then they thought we will somehow trick him. So they made one woman dressed like Durga in the middle of the night, and they sent in front of him. And she, with some noise and all, she appeared and she started telling, okay, you have stolen the jewelry from the king and tell where you have kept. No, you did not give me my quota. You have to pay no tributes to me and all. And he started shivering from the stomach. He was so scared. He offered obeisances again and again, mother, mother, mother. And then he saw that the feet are touching the ground. And he remembered from the class, the demigods, they don't touch the feet on the ground. And he understood, oh, this is the trick of the soldiers. They want me to admit, that's why they sent. So he played it innocence. And then they could not trick him. So he understood, Array, just by hearing 2 minutes Bhagavatam class, I was saved. Otherwise, they would have executed me. Now I am saved because of this 2 minutes of hearing. If I hear more, what will happen to me? So, and this is actually the power of bhakti. Like I was telling, na, one new person, he came to Janmashtami festival in Moscow. And from evening onwards, the kirtan was going on, and devotees were ecstatically singing at 12 o'clock. There was heavy kirtan till 1 o'clock. And then there was about to be Maha and His Holiness Bhakti Vikan Maharaj was going, seeing around, and he was able to go for Aarti. And when that new person who comes there, and he taps Maharaj from behind, and Maharaj turns here. He said, "Can I ask you something?" Maharaj said, "Yes." Why am I getting tears in my eyes? I don't know, I'm just crying. Uncontrollably, I'm weeping just by hearing, attending this kirtan. I don't know why. Is there anything wrong with me? Maharaj says, that is a perfection. Maharaj says, why am I not getting? We all want to get tears. Somehow we are not getting. You are fortunate you got it. So the point is that because there is no offense for him, he's just very innocent, and he could immediately experience. So, and okay, this goes very long, so I'll just come to immediate. There are so many other nice points that, you know, bhakti can be practiced in any circumstances, and know how Lord reciprocates at any level, and there are so many other things. Now, what is obstacle? Because bhakti is so powerful, there are so many other things to prove that bhakti is very powerful. But now we'll come to this uh, uh, obstacles of bhakti. What is obstructing or blocking our bhakti? So that will be the discussion. So the two conditions for experiencing spiritual energy. What is that? So this Nyaya, the logic philosophy Nyaya, explains that for a phenomena to produce its effects, two conditions must be met. One is contact with the carrier of energy, that is bhakti, the holy name, kirtan. And second is pratibandha abhava. That means absence of blocking factors, that is aparad. So I will uh, write for you. So this is from Nyaya Sutra. So first is contact with energy which is giving bhakti, and abstaining from blocking factors. Now this three analogies are given for it. So we will discuss this point. Three analogies illustrate how obstacles neutralize spiritual energy. We are all in contact with spiritual energy every day. Bhagavatam, holy name, kirtan, deities, prasadam. But somehow this is neutralizing the spiritual energy which we are getting. So first is the moonstone in fire. The cooling energy of moonstone reduces the burning power of fire, making the fire produce only smoke. So there is one stone which is called moonstone, which will does not allow the fire to burn. Second is water on fire. Water poured on fire weakens it. A person who experiences only a smoldering fire all their life may mistakenly conclude that fire does not really burn because of pouring water and insulation from it. One may be near a great source of warmth, and it remain cool if properly insulated. So, like electric wires and all, sometimes they become very hot, but if you have proper insulation, it will not affect us. So, these are the three examples. If you experience bhakti but receive no taste, the conclusion must not be that bhakti is ineffective. This is Arthavad. Rather, it means we ourselves have placed obstacles, the blocks that blocks this energy, right? So I didn't write more things on the effect of bhakti. I just gave the very few analogies because it will take very long. What all the special effects of bhakti, and we have scriptural examples also. Now we'll try to see the what is the first aparat. So the first greatest obstacle is arthavad. Arthavad means treating the scriptural glorification of bhakti as exaggeration, as motivational rhetoric designed to attract practitioners without literal truth. So this is called arthavad. This is a great offense to minimize the effect of bhakti. We should never do this. Bhakti is very powerful. My practice is not right. So Arthavad is everything in material world. In the material world, Arthavad is the normal. All advertising consists of Arthavad. Beautiful promises, but they don't match reality. And there are healthy magazines, yoga test, hatha yoga, this, that, but it does not match. Even more, much of the Vedas consist of Arthavad. Flowery log, Yamimam Pushpitam Vacham, Prabhavanti Avipashchita. But this is not applicable to Bhakti. You're understanding? So Arthavad is there, but it is not because the whole world we have experience of this Arthavad. So when it comes to Bhakti, there also we start using Arthavad only, unfortunately. Arthavad is normal actually. Advertisement is Arthavad. What you say and what you do does not match here. All advertisements are Arthavad. All health magazines, yoga texts, and all these medical claims, and even the Vedas, Yamimam Pushpitam Vacham also the same thing. It's all Arthavad. Does not, they say something, but they don't mean it. So when treating bhakti, glories also, this Arthavad is actually a catastrophe. Unlike material Arthavad, when scriptures glorify bhakti, it is literal truth. Treating it as exaggeration is itself a offense. So Arthavada Harinami Sambhavatya Yo Naraha Sa Papishto Manushyana Nirnai Patiti Sputam. The person who considers the glories of the holy name to be imaginary falls instantly into a state of suffering. This is what when you come to bhakti, we cannot use it. So this is the first reason, this is the first offenses why we are not experiencing is this is the offense we are committing. We are not able to take it in a as it is. The second scripture statement in the voice of directly Krishna is telling, Namam karmani phalam vidhim nishyam na shraddhati munate yat artha na shraddhati manute yat udartha vada यो मनुष्यस्तं इह दुःख चये क्षिपामि संसार घोरा विदितार्थे निपीडितांगम. One who hears the results of my name Kirtan and does not believe, this Krishna is telling, one who hears the results of my Nama Kirtan and does not believe, thinking it exaggeration, I kick that person into the well of suffering. In the terrible samsara, the limbs of his body will be in pain. So this is the Krishna's heavy statement for people who don't believe. Now, now how this Arthavad is applicable means how it is coming to our life. So now we'll try to understand this with a proper example, whether I have Arthavad or not. A devotee who had heard the glories of the holy name for years, but never deeply believed them, began combing japa with pranayama. He measured how long he could chant on a single breath. He practiced his practice differed entirely into breath control. The holy name becomes a pretext for pranayama. The cause no genuine faith in extraordinary power of the name itself. So people are doing chanting to digest their food. I have seen also one devotee he eats in the night more and then he goes for chanting. I said, Prabhu, why are you chanting? He said, after eating more, if I chant, now my food will get digested. So, and some people they do pranayama with chanting. So then what happens? Is practice differ entirely into breath control. The holy name becomes a pretext of pranayama. So how many? I'll take one breath and chant. How many mantras I can chant in one breath? And other common contemporary things. So when other things are coming, I will add to it some more list. All these things is because they are not having faith in bhakti. Thinking astrology is more reliable than chanting for problem solving. This is Arthavad. Treating uh, transactional analysis, family consultant therapies, healing, panchakarma is more effective than bhakti. Regarding psychological methods as superior spiritual tools. So all these things are because of Arthavad. Now comes one more thing, Dharma, Mahabharata, Sanatan Dharma. Sanatan Dharma, Mahabharata, so many other contemporary Arthavadas. So we have to fight for Sanatan Dharma. So that means they don't understand what is Bhakti. Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur was so heavy. Prabhupada went to that only. We want to free Bharat. Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur said bogus. and then Prabhupada changed. Tadasmasaram Hridayam Badedam Yagr. So this I was telling na, that Russian new person, he actually was immediately getting tears in his eyes as soon as he chanted. Tadasmasaram Hridayam Badedam Yagrihanamer Hariname Dehe Na Vikriyetat Yada Vikaro Netram Jalam Gatra Ruheshu Harshaha. Truly the heart of that person is encaged in iron, who upon hearing the holy name of Hari does not melt, shed tears, or experience the hair of the body standing on end. So Jiva Goswami quotes this to explain the results of aparadh. Offenses encases the heart in iron. Bhakti produces the opposite. Softening the heart, tenderness, wonder, admiration, love, all these things are important. Jiva Goswami is writing it 400 years, 450 years back. Unfortunately, most people practicing bhakti fall into this category. Tears do not come, at least for me, they never came. The heart does not melt, not it. The hair does not stand on it. Only tear comes. Sometimes you don't want to chant, and still so many rounds are pending. So, first aparadh is what? Arthavad. This is clear for everyone. Hope it is clear about Arthavad. So, Arthavad in Hindi means to consider the glories as very exaggeration. बहुत बड़ा चढ़ा कर बता रहे हैं. इतना नहीं होता है. That is Arthavad. अरे इतना भी नहीं है, ऐसे ही बड़ा चढ़ा के बताते हैं ताकि लोग उसको बहुत अ, गंभीरता से ले लें, लेकिन इतना भी नहीं है। दैट इज अर्थवाद, your understanding. So the effect of that is that we end up in doing something. So now, what is the second offense is Vaishnavapara. This is the topic of our discussion, but I went long way started. So now, Jiva Goswami identifies two aparadas, very powerful, hard to overcome offenses. One is Arthavada, treating bhakti's glorification as exaggeration. Second is Vaishnava Vaishnavanadharadhayo. Disrespect towards Vaishnava, failing to appreciate devotees of the Lord. So these are the two Duranta, insurmountable because they have the power to completely block the manifestation of bhakti. So this is the second category of these two. This is the most Arthavad and Vaishnava. Okay, two powerful, hard to overcome offenses. Arthavada and Vaishnava. Now, Jiva Goswami says, Tadrisha paradhe bhakti stambascha suyate. When one commits aparad equal in gravity to Arthavad or disrespect of Vaishnava, bhakti is stabdham, frozen or halted. It stops affecting consciousness. You see, it is not that bhakti becomes less. It is the energy, it is that its energy is completely blocked from reaching. So I will, uh, sorry, here. So this is the most important thing. Please try to understand. Bhakti does not reduce, but the power is not affecting our consciousness. Why? Because it is completely blocked from reaching the practitioner. So we are not able to access the bhakti which we are doing. It is not affecting our consciousness because of Vaishnava and Arthava. So now Nriga's example is given. Nriga was exemplary by all Vedic standards, and he himself says, so what all he says, we'll see. What, why Nriga could not get anything? Because he says this thing. He is devoted to the loving and loving towards Brahmanas, extraordinarily generous and magnanimous. I was servant of Lord. He retained memory of his past life due to his merits, that is pious credits. He maintained the desire to see Krishna, but the problem is his humility was not profound. He described these qualities in the third person, saying, I. So, now despite this, what did he do? No, one small mistake. But why did it affect him? We'll see. Niga was inadvertent error. He donated a cow to one Brahmana, the cow returned and mixed with the herd. He unknowingly donated the same cow to second Brahmana. When discovered, both Brahmanas claimed ownership. He offered 1 lakh cows in no restitution. Both refused indignantly. He was aware of the spiritual injunctions against Datta Aparadha Dosha, the sin of taking back that was given. So now what happens is before Yamaraj, the Yamaraj was astonished that at the magnitude of Nriga's merits And and he says, "Arey, this fellow should enjoy, enjoy for heavenly enjoyment beyond imagination. But for the cow error, required solution. Niga wisely chose to suffer first, then enjoy, so that heavenly pleasure would not be shadowed by impending consciousness. And the result was he was transformed to lizard, yet retained memory due to his virtue. Now, why did a servant of Krishna end up in this condition? He was devoted to the Lord. So, we will try to discuss that. He knew the glories of devotional service, but in practice, placed in placed his faith in the effectiveness of pious material activities, karma kanda. He believed more in giving cows than in pure practice of bhakti. This is Arthavada in his practical form. So many devotees are with the cows. See, taking care of cows is good, but we should not compromise our pure practice of bhakti. One devotee, what happened? They were taking some cows in to the slaughterhouse, and he managed to rescue them. When and then he was telling, "See, I rescued some these many hundreds of cows, and according to Shastras, if you protect a cow, you'll go to Vaikunta. So my ticket for Vaikunta is guaranteed." Now he is very much compromising in practice of bhakti. He's telling, "I'm protecting cow, it's enough. What about your chanting? What about your reading? What about your other things?" No. And some devotees, they sit in the morning and they start uh, working on cows with some videos on cows, this, that. That will not work actually. That is Ardhavad in practice. No amount of pious karma protect one from the consequences of a small mistake. Only pure bhakti can offer complete protection. Karma kanda, however extensive, is not sufficient shelter. So that is the first lesson from here. Now Nriga, he fall into lizard's body was it's actually ultimate redemption. He finally understood the futility of karma kanda, finding in that body, despite enormous merits, he recognized, "I was doing the wrong thing." He understood bhakti alone, not pious activity, is the only real protection. So, if the holy name once comes to tongue, enters the mind as memory or enters the ear, whether pronounced correctly or incorrectly, the pure or impure syllabus, with or without destruction, it will certainly lead to liberation. This is truth. But there is one more verse which we will hear now. It is said that this is actually what is happening to all of us. It's a nice verse. It says, "However, O Brahmana, tacha deha dvaina janata lobha pashanda मध्ये निष्पटं शान न फलम janakam shighram evatra vipra." However, O Brahmana, if this holy name falls upon the consciousness of one polluted by atheism, pashanda, greed for bodily pleasure, wealth, and honor of followers, then it will not bear fruit soon. So, this is what the Shastra says. So now Jiva Goswami he says that the person consumed material greed will inevitably commit the 10 offenses to holy name. So this is Jiva Goswami's prediction, and this is applicable to all of us. Dehadi lo ya ye pashanda gaur kurva avajnat dashaparada yuktastan tadhya iti artha. The person consumed by material greed will inevitably commit the 10 offenses to the holy name, beginning with Gurur Avagnya. Viewing the spiritual master in ordinary person. Material consciousness lead to offense. Offense leads to obstacles of bhakti's fruit. And I also saw in my life, honestly, that whatever I did practice for few years, but because of this Arthavad, I couldn't get much benefit. Slowly understood what is Arthavad. So now, if we have to closely observe why we are seeing, we see the material, we are taking bhakti is also material. That is Arthavad. We are not able to see the spiritual aspect. So the heart has two states. One is the heart under aparat. So I'll show you for you. This is very interesting. The contrast between the heart under aparat and heart under bhakti. Heart under aparat, it's hard, iron encased, unyielding, cannot be reached by emotion, incapable of compassion, wandered or delight, cannot experience or give love. But if you don't commit aparat, what will happen? How the heart will be? And this is actually how the heart looks of a devotee. Soft, tender, easily moved, tears arose upon hearing the holy name, hair stand on a devotional taste, full of wonder, admiration, and love, capable of genuine compassion and delight. So, actually, what happened? Even a 90-year-old person who exemplify, who has practiced bhakti in an exemplar way, his eyes glow like bright child. Every word saturated with nectar and sweetness, a loving demonstration that bhakti, you know, reverses aging of the spirit. And we have seen some devotees in Vrindavan. You can see. Recently, I met one saintly person. He is 80 plus years, somewhere. I think 90. Yeah, he's near 90. But so innocent, so he don't know anything. Actually, what he did from every day is to sleep at 8 o'clock and wake up at 12 o'clock and 12 to whole till somewhere 10, 11, 12 he used to chant. Like that he did for years and years and years. Oh, many years he did. And he don't know anything much. He just knows holy name. And it's a remote village in uh, no in India, and many people go to him to see now. I also went recently to meet. He's a Gaudiya Vaishnava, very saintly. You'll really feel. And after meeting him, I felt some change. Gave the mala to him, said, just pray on my mala so that I'll also get some taste. Yes, so taste for holy name. So this is a living demonstration. Bhakti reverses aging spirit. So innocent, so simple, so loving. You just feel that joy. So ordinary people, they are very dull, disinterested, joyless with age. But he was like very blissful person. So Jesus Christ, he says that you will not return to the kingdom of God until you become like child. Children have not yet fully hardened their hearts. Bhaktas are like that. They rejoice, weep, delight, and admire just as children. So this is a famous quote. Many times is once Radhanath Maharaj also quotes this. So This is, I'll go for psychological effect. Maybe uh, tomorrow we will take on the some other time because we have to complete the syllabus also. One more time when this aparat comes, I'll talk on psychological effects. I will go to the 11th chapter. We'll discuss, we'll try to complete some syllabus also. So, I'll just ब्राह्मणोवाच अकोविदः कोविदवादवादान् वदस्य अतो नाति विदां वरिष्ठः न सूयो हि व्यवहारम् एनं तथा वा वर्मशेन समामनन्वति. The Brahmana Jarabata said, now he is going to answer what Rahugana's objections were. Rahugana gave very good arguments. It is actually very, we should understand what questions Rahugana gave. That is very important. Then we'll understand the answers clearly. Without understanding question, we don't know why this answer is given. So Rahugana's question I will summarize. He says that when Jadabharat said, Are you are telling I am a short, long person, thin person, fat person, but I have nothing to do with the body. I am the spirit soul. And you are thinking you are king, I am servant. But why are you taking this seriously? I may be servant now, but later on I'll become master and you'll become servant. So why are you taking all these things seriously? And whatever you said about me is true only because I am not getting affected by it. And whatever you spoke is true because this is what an ignorant person speaks. That's what Jadabharat told. And Ravgana says, see, whatever you are telling, you are, because I am in the position of a king, I am supposed to do my duty. So what is wrong if I correct the subordinates? It is not a mistake. I have to tell them to do what is right. Otherwise, how the work will be done? So how am I wrong in not when doing my duty? So this is what Ravgana's argument is. I am supposed to do my duty, and everybody will agree with this argument. They all say that, oh yeah, we are supposed to do our duty. So Ravgana's argument is also same thing. I am supposed to do my duty, and still he says, actually, I please forgive me because you are a great Vaishnava. Without knowing, I committed this offense of making you do this service. Otherwise, as a king, I am supposed to take care of my subjects. I am doing the same thing. So here, my dear king, although you are not at all experienced, you are trying to speak like an experienced man. This is what Jarabat is. Consequently, you cannot be considered an experienced man. An experienced person does not speak the way you are speaking about relationship between a master and servant or about material plane pleasure. These are simply external activities. Any advanced experienced man considering the absolute truth does not talk in this way. This is the first time in Bhagavatam this topic is touched. So every topic, Bhagavatam is covering many topics. This is the first time this topic is touched. So we have to be very attentive in understanding what exactly Bharat Maharaj is trying to help us understand, make us understand. Krishna similarly chastises Arjuna. Asocha nanna sochastum pragyavadam shapasya. While speaking learned verse, we are lamenting for what is not worth of grief. Similarly, among young people in general, 99.9% try to talk like experienced advisors, but they're actually devoid of spiritual knowledge and therefore, like inexperienced children, speak nonsensically. Consequently, their words cannot be given any importance. One has to learn from Krishna or his devotee. One speaks on the basis of this experience, that is, on the basis of spiritual knowledge. One's words are valuable. At the present moment, the entire world is full of foolish people. Bhagavad Gita describes these people as Muda. They are trying to rule human society, but because they are devoid of spiritual knowledge, the entire world is in chaotic condition, and we can see how it is chaotic. To be released from the material condition, one has to become Krishna conscious, take lessons from an exalted personality like Jadabharata. This is the only way to solve the problems of life. We cannot solve the gas problem, petrol problem, so many problems. Actually, we are seeing we are an independent nation. That no nation is independent. Everybody is dependent only. They are so much dependent on each other. So there is already enslavement. All these multinational companies, they control everything. There is enslavement. If they don't give us gas, if they don't give us petrol, we are all gone. And if they cut power supply, we are gone. So that means where is independence for us? There is no independence. It is just an external say that, oh, we are independent. It's all such a slavery. So this is the unfortunate state for presently. And that's very clearly explained. You see, Prabhupada is writing, the entire world is in a chaotic condition. What is needed is spiritual knowledge. That's all. And he says further that Tataiva Rajan Urugahameda Vitana Vidyoru Vijumbiteshu Navedavadeshu Iti Tatvavadaha Prayena Shuddhonu Chakasita Sadhu. This is my dear king. Talks of the relationship between the master and servant, the king and the subject, and so forth are simply talk about material activities. People interested in material activities which are expounded in the Vedas are intent on performing material sacrifice and placing faith in their material activity. For such people, spiritual advancement is definitely not manifest. So this is the point. See, what Ravagana is talking is on a material platform. Simply talk about material activities. So this is the talk which Ravagana is doing. But Jarabat is talking on a spiritual platform. So entirely different. So what Bhagavatam is trying to help us elevate our consciousness and think in terms of a spiritual level. So people interested in material activity which are expounded in Vedas are intent on performing material sacrifice. Yamimam pushpitam vacham prabhavanti avipashyata vedavadarata partha nanyadasthiti vadana. They argue that there is nothing beyond this. For such people, spiritual advancement is definitely not manifest. So they cannot understand only. So 99.9% when Prabhupada says they are moodas, Naradhama, this is actually what he's telling. They are not at all interested. So Vedavada and Tattvavada. So same shloka Prabhupada is going, Yamyam Pushpitam Vacham. And Kamatmanam Swargaparam Janma Labha Janma Karma Falaprada Kriya Vishesha Bahula Bhogaishwara Gatim Prati. Men of small knowledge are very much attached to flowery words of Vedas, which recommend various fruitive activities for elevation, resulting good birth, power, and so forth. Being desirous of sense gratification, opulent life, they say there is nothing more than this. That's all. So Vedas follow this karma kanda, and generally practice of chaturmasya system. Asahya ha iva chaturmasya yajna sukram bhavati. One who performs the chaturmasya becomes pious. So nowadays, no, these are things so much in ISKCON. Adhikmas, Chaturmas, this rituals, that rituals, they have become so much. I know people are putting so much faith on them. Arey, concentrate on holy name, na. Why are you so much particular about the rituals? Oh, we have to perform this very strictly, that very strictly. Arey, any vrata, anything we do, the most important thing is focusing on the holy name. To give importance, okay, you have Adhik Mas. What is the best vrata for Adhik Mas? Chant more rounds. That is the only vrata. Chant more rounds, hear more Bhagavatam, do more service to the deity. No other rules does not make any. These are pious activities. Others argue that this is not the purpose of Vedas. Tat yaktaivaha karma jito loka kishati eva eva uru punya jita lokaha kshayate. In this world, someone may be very highly elevated by taking birth in aristocratic family, by being well educated, beautiful, or rich. These are all gift for pious activities enacted in past life. However, this will be finished. Then the stock of pious activity is finished. If we become attached to pious activity, we may get these various worldly facilities in the next life and may take birth in the heavenly planets. But all this will eventually be finished. Kshine punye mattalokam vashanti. The stock of pious activity is finished. So we should not acquire stock of pious activity by all these extra chaturmas, this mas, that mas. Only we have to acquire any mas comes, Damodar mas, this mas, only one thing we have to acquire. The credits of holy name, concentrating on holy name. Otherwise, this is very easy because we are already having Indian mindset. Indian mindset is ritualistic mindset. Anything we do, we make it as a ritual. Instead of putting faith on holy name, we put faith on the rituals. That is Arthava. So we get carried away by Arthava default. That is our Indian setting. So we have to be very careful. We should not get carried away by our uh, Indian settings, Indian mindsets. Means that is there in our blood only. Anything we make it ritual, especially in India. We should not be like that. As no, we should very clearly distinguish. Okay, it is going Arthavad or am I just doing my bhakti? Those who are Vedavadas are not actually advanced in knowledge. Those who are followers of Jnana Kanda are also not perfect. However, when comes in the platform of Upasana, the acceptance of Supreme Lord, he becomes perfect. Aradhanam Sarvesham Vishnu Aradhanam Param. So, in the Vedas, the worship of different demigods, no need. Whether I should do Narsimha Homa, this Homa, that Homa, no need. I also did previously. Then I understood. That's all Arthavad. I wasted my time. When one comes to the platform of Vishnu or Aradhanam, one has to attain the perfection of life. See, we can do festivals for Lord, but nowadays, no, so many things are added in the festivals. So people are doing yajnas, people are doing this, that. I know so much elaborate rituals. No, the most important ritual when Prabhupada was installing Krishna Balram temple, they were doing rituals. Prabhupada said this is not needed. Devotees were doing kirtan. Prabhupada said, this is sufficient. Just chanting the holy name is the only ritual we have. Other rituals just to engage our mind because our mind will not focus on holy name for a long time. That's why we are doing rituals. Otherwise, it does not make any sense actually. When Prabhupada's sannyas was happening, when they were doing ritual, Akinjan Disbas Babaji was doing chanting the holy name. And no, the priest were telling, Arey, chant softly, softly. It is distracting us from chanting these mantras. And Prabhupada was indicating from the side, no, no, chant more, chant more. That means Prabhupada didn't had any faith in the ritual. His faith is only on holy name. So initiation yajna also, Prabhupada initiation was yajna is very simple. Just from Om Ajnana Timindasya to all the Acharyas mantra, pranam mantras, I know Radha Madan Mohan, Gopinath, Govindes pranam mantras, and that's all. That's end of the initiation yajna. And now so many things are added. So this is all because people are not having faith in holy name completely. This is sufficient. So natasya tattvat grahanaaya sakshat variyasairapi vachah samasan स्वप्नेरुक्त्या ग्रहमेदि शुक्ल न यस्य हेयानुमृतिं स्वयं स्यात्. A dream becomes automatically known to a person as false and immaterial, and similarly, one eventually realizes that material happiness in this life or next, or in this planet or a higher planet, is insignificant. When one realizes this, the Vedas, although an excellent source, are insufficient to bring about direct knowledge of the truth. Such a nice point. So I want to elaborate it tomorrow. Any questions, comments till now from the previous discussion and what we discussed till now? Yes, Srinivas Prasad Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Pranam Prabhuji. Thank you so much for enlightening us.
Dhanwad.
In fact, the question which was coming to my mind was like you mentioned about meeting a very pure devotee who's a Gaudiya Vaishnava and who is in a very is in his advanced age, and they is very simple and childlike. So how do we understand that when somebody in our moment also he focuses more on chanting the holy name only, so then people see him with a different vision कि भाई ये so how to balance, because like for us as a householders sometimes when we also think that we should chant, but uh, we have to do so many other uh, services like as a householder. So how do we? And in fact, Maharaj also mentions that if we are able to chant our 16 rounds with attention, with rapt attention, and then do all other services in a balanced way. So how can you just uh, enlighten us that how do we remain fixed in our attentive chanting of 16 rounds, or maybe sometimes we can chant 4, 5, or 8 rounds more, maybe 25 rounds. But when we increase more chanting and then all other things which are not getting the proper attention, and then the in the family people understand that now he's not contributing more in those services. So as a householder, how can you guide us, Prabhu, please?
See how it works, Prabhu. If you are doing, you have a psychophysical nature and you have certain responsibilities.
Hmm.
And your mind cannot focus on holy name unless you have done your duties properly in a Krishna conscious way,
Hmm.
and you have completely reduced your conditioning working according to your psychophysical nature.
Hmm.
Then slowly to concentrate on holy name becomes natural, and you will be
Hmm.
more focused when the holy name becomes natural in chanting. It does not like an effort or endeavor or a ritual or a compulsion. Nothing will happen like that.
Hmm.
Automatically the mind get attracted to the spiritual activities, and mind will be more because your mind is already calm because you have performed your actions in a Krishna conscious way.
Hmm.
And we can see also some old people, na, they are very inclined in spiritual activities at the end of their life. As slowly 50s, 60s they come, they are interested in spiritual activities. Why? Because
Hmm.
they have performed their duties in a very responsible way.
Hmm.
And they may not directly are in ISKCON or something, but they will
Hmm.
be like, I know, whole day
Some.
they are sitting, doing some chanting, some reading of Bhagavatam. They
Hmm.
are very easily doing it. It is flowing naturally for them.
Hmm.
They are not interested in material activity. Why? Because that is how the mind works. If you have done your things in a very, you do your responsibilities properly, identifying with Krishna that, okay, Krishna gave me, I had to do for pleasing Krishna. And you have to do some actions according to psychophysical nature. That type of services you do for Krishna according to your nature. And
Hmm.
slowly, your quality of chanting, it's not just whole day sitting and chanting and mind is wandering. Like Ekadasi, people sit and chant
Hmm.
192 rounds also, but mind is not there in chanting. So it is not going to make much effect. But even if they are chanted some 64 rounds, but very attentively, or 32 rounds very attentively, it will definitely have effect. So it's not number of rounds, it's the quality also. So the quality comes when you have a quality life. So that's how it is. So it's not that they are obstacles for you. They are actually helping you to clean your mind if you are doing it in a proper way. So they are actually whole day. If I tell, okay, Prabhuji, come to Vrindavan for 1 week and sit whole day and chant.
Hmm.
After 1 week, you'll only say, Prabhuji is not able to concentrate because it is not going to work. Prabhupada also did not encourage this. He says, no, you do something. So be practical. So many people, they think that, okay, if I sit whole day, it will not get that quality. That is not possible. Prabhupada never encourage like that. We have
Hmm.
to do what we are supposed to do, and if you do it in a proper state, that's actually what Jadavarti is going to tell Ravagana now. When
Hmm.
Ravagana is telling, I am doing my duty, Jadavati
Hmm.
is not against Ravagana doing duty. He's telling you have to
Yes.
do it a proper state. That is where the difference. So why we are not able to, why we feel burdened, why we get distracted, why we feel all these things, negative things comes because we think we separate sadhana with our services.
Mm,
No, service is to do our sadhana properly. We are not seeing the connection. If you do it properly, your sadhana will be a quality sadhana because you have done your duty whole day with proper absorption. When you sit
mm,
for chanting, you will get absorption in chanting also. We
mm,
should not see the we are not seeing the connection. If you are doing with a proper state, even though it may be some passionate activity, but if you
mm,
have done like Arjuna is doing a passionate activity, is killing people. But his
mm,
absorption of Krishna is not reduced because he is doing it a proper state, even though it is very passionate. So it's not the action, it's what absorption we have in doing it. What quality of absorption with a what proper attitude. That's actually make the difference. Okay, bro?
very wonderful, Prabhuji. In fact, that again proves that matlab, one should not try to imitate if he sees somebody chanting 64 or it's a gradual process. So when we're
No, see,
able,
they can focus pro. We have to jump according to our level. We
that's what
cannot
I'm saying.
over
Yes.
jump.
Mm, yes. So we are
So it's
like.
not about 64 rounds or anything, bro. It's a
Mm,
what I am supposed to do now. You do
mm,
what you are supposed to do and
mm,
you get it. You don't no need to compare with others. Some may do 192 rounds also. They may be Haridas Thakurs. But we
mm,
are not. We just
mm,
have to do this is my limit. So they
mm.
may be in post graduation. We are in the kindergarten.
Kindergarten,
So
correct.
we say, I will also read that post graduation book. We will not read able to read. Even if I
Mm,
give, what will understand? I know how to read alphabets. Does
mm,
not mean I can read a PhD thesis,
mm.
right?
Very true.
So we have to go according to our level. This is my level. This is what Krishna gave me, and he can promote me at any level. So I will wait for what Krishna want, but let me do it with full absorption. Let me be 100% sincere in what I am supposed to do. Okay,
The
bro?
point which I liked was like when you sit for chanting, so you love to sit for chanting and you love to chant because you know your mind is free from all the other things which otherwise if you're chanting and there are so many pending things in your mind, then even if you're chanting it but there are things which you were supposed to do but you didn't uh, uh, completed them in time or that they are going in your mind and at the same time you're chanting, so that touched my heart. Like we should do our responsibilities nicely, and if everything is done nicely, and then when we sit for chanting, and then we love to chant.
See, if we are doing your every even material activity with proper absorption, understanding, when you sit for chanting, you will do with same absorption because there you put your heart properly and did it. When you come to holy name, you will put your heart and do it properly. So anything connected to Krishna, we put our heart and do. If we do, if we are irresponsible in one place, we'll be irresponsible in chanting also. So there is something called irresponsibility. There is something called naturally they are not interested in doing something because it is the heart is not affected. But when it comes to responsibility, they will be responsible for whatever. Unless they are like Tukaram Maharaj, indifferent from everything, or Sukhdev Maharaj. But otherwise, we have to be responsibly doing. And when it comes to holy name, there also we are responsible because we have default setting. Like somebody is hardworking, he will do hard work in all areas because he is natural. Somebody is lazy in chanting also. That's how it happens.
Very wonderfully said, Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
Alright.
Dandavat Pranam, Prabhuji.
So we have Prem Latika.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Then
So, Prabhuji, what I understood from the concept of Arthavad is that anything apart from chanting and whatever process is given by our acharyas, we do is Arthavad. Am I correct, Prabhuji?
no, means if we are considering what Arthavad basically means that we are taking what say exaggeration. It is not true. Like say advertisements. When you see
Okay.
advertisements, you completely believe them or you doubt them? Are they saying the
I
truth?
doubt. No.
You doubt. That is arthavad. Means whatever is spoken, you don't take as it is directly. So because we are used to such situations in the world, when we feel the same thing about bhakti. Oh, this is also arthavad. May not be true because they are just telling like that. So you are understanding the tendency, and because of that arthavad, what we do, instead of just doing bhakti, we don't have faith in that bhakti completely. We start adding some more things: astrology, yoga, Ayurveda, Sadharma. These that we are start adding rituals. All these things we are adding to it because just holy name is sufficient. Then why you need a nursing homa? Why you need vastu pujas? Why you need this thing? Why you need that thing? Holy name is sufficient, na? Why you need all
Mm-hmm.
these things? That means you don't have faith in holy name. That means that makes sense.
Yes, yes, yes,
You're
Prabhuji. And
understanding?
another quick
Yeah.
question, Prabhuji. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, whenever I read the description of Panihati Chida Dahi festival, na, the description that they have given that some people stand in the Ganges and hold the matkas of Dahi Chida in their hands. Sometimes I feel that it is way above my imagination, and at only for this description I'm not able to have complete faith in that description. Is this my fault, and if it is so, how I recover through it, Prabhuji?
Yeah, actually, that is the potency of Nityanand Prabhu. We hear na on one tree, thousands of people are standing, thousands and thousands
Hmm.
of people on the leaf of a tree, a persons are standing, and
Huh,
they are taking darshan of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. How is it
huh.
possible? This is possible because of Nityanand Prabhu. So the potency of Nityanand Prabhu is not known to people. So this is something very special that is happening. Like yesterday, for his always Jayapatak Maharaj Vyas Puja, 30,000 people came. Can you imagine
Hari.
what is that? Like, no, a little more here and there visitors. That means half lakh people are coming for taking prasadam and going for Maharaj Vyas Puja. So, now what is this? This is the potency of Nityanand Prabhu. So, when so many people are coming and they are taking prasadam, if there is water around, they may be sitting in the water also and taking. But we have very nice facilities in ISKCON, they are coming. But so many people came and they took prasad and went also. So, how is it possible? So Jayapatak Maharaj is informed by Nityanand Prabhu. So he is also doing the same thing. So it's very much possible. Only thing is, if anybody would have believed that no, so many people will come for one Vyas Puja and take prasadam, nobody could have believed. And in future something else will happen. So in Nityanand Prabhu's time also these things happens. So that is the special power Nityanand Prabhu gave. This is the Bhakti Shakti and the potency of Nityanand Prabhu. We cannot understand. We should only uh, take it as it is. That's all. No option.
And another quick question can I ask, Prabhuji?
Yeah.
Prabhuji, you also mentioned in Arthavat about astrology. So, our
Yeah.
Parampara Acharya, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, was very good in astrology. Even His Grace Amrendra Prabhu also has studied astrology. So, how to understand this, Prabhuji? These two are very, I mean, for me, these two are very, for
No,
everyone.
Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur, before he did the pastime of a devotee, he wrote Surya Siddhanta. But
Okay,
after he became a devotee and all, he did not take it seriously. So we use
okay.
Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur to make our calendars and all, Surya
Hmm,
Siddhanta. But point is that is only for some spiritual, sorry, some material calculations and all. So it
hmm,
helps
hmm,
a person to know some obstacles that are coming, or to get marriage matches, and to proper time for opening a house and all. So for that much only it is needed. It is not for solving the problems of life. Say now you are going to take some medicine just to cure the disease I know it's a time being, but it's not going to solve the problems of life. So, astrology, we should know the limitation. It is not a
Hmm.
solution for life. It is only
Hmm.
some facilities to help. Like I was coming in the cab, and the cab driver, I was traveling to Vrindavan. So the cab driver said, "Tell me what is in my astrology." I said, "Arre, no, not. Can you read my palm and tell me how it
Hmm.
is?" And he was
Hmm.
driving and trying to show his left hand. I said, "No, it's right hand." So somehow he managed to put his right hand behind and started showing his hand. You see and tell me what it is. And very long back in my school, I read this palm astrology. In the college time, I used to purchase some books and read. I don't remember
Hmm.
anything, but I, I told him something. I
Hmm.
know.
Hmm.
I said, "Oh, you are changing your job. You are earning this way. Previously, you stayed that way, and you have fight with your wife, and you don't eat on time." And no, all these things are true only because he's a driver. He don't eat on time, and his wife will have fight. Everybody will have fight with wife. So I said, "Oh, whatever you are telling is right. Whatever you are telling is right." Yeah, it is right because it is common for everyone. So now, what is the solution? Astrology is not giving solution. Solution is you have to check Krishna, take shelter of Krishna. You are understanding? So I told seven, eight things, and he had complete faith. He said, "Yes, yes, whatever you're." But I told whatever common things happen in life. So that
Hmm.
same thing, solution is Krishna consciousness. You only can tell what is going to happen. So you
Hmm.
will become old, you will get diseases. Can anybody stop it? We all can predict it. So it's same.
Prabhuji, this
Okay.
discussion on Arthavad was very nice and you have very explained it very nicely. I will request you to please carry that discussion further so we will get more enlightenment.
Yeah, we'll see some topic comes related to it. We'll definitely come back to it
Thank you,
because
Prabhuji.
there are many topics to be covered. Now in this today's purpose also many topics are there. We have to cover them also.
Mhm. Thank you,
So
Prabhuji.
different topics, different. I went little long on Aparad only, but we have to cover other topics. When the topic comes, we'll definitely take it again.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you. Uh, Sukhi Devi Mataji. You have to unmute Mataji. Sukhi Devi Mataji. You are not able to unmute. So there is a question in chat box how to increase absorption. So we have to at least start do things which you like, then you get absorption in it. Slowly, we have to start practicing with other things. So what we are very good at, you start doing it more. So you will get absorption. Oh, not able to unmute. Okay, we'll take it tomorrow. You can try tomorrow. Thank you all very much. ग्रंथ श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, शिल प्रभुपाद की जय। हरे कृष्ण।